Hey guys, it is Nathan. This is a video sharing some like interesting tools that I've been exploring recently. Um, so I'm sure many of you are like familiar with like sort of these hub type softwares. I've used a few sort of different ones in the past. And a friend of mine introduced me to this just the other week. So like if you're like an entrepreneur or like founder or running a business, I mean, I think this applies to so many different industries these days. But I find that I just have so many different tabs open. Like I probably have LinkedIn open about 5 different times because I get lost having so many different windows open. I've got customer support, I'm checking payments, I'm checking Google Analytics and everything like this. And this is a sort of hub of like all the different tools that you're using. You can add custom tools into it as well. So obviously I've got Gmail, I've got LinkedIn, I've got Intercom, I've got my Trello boards, I've got Google Ads, I've got Airtable APIs, I've got Airtable here, I've got Integromat, I've got ChargeBee, I've got WhatsApp, and ChartMogul, and they have I think like 600 different tools that you can have, like Skype, pretty much like Facebook Messenger, Slack, anything that you're using. And I just really like the user interface of this tool. Is obviously good for productivity, and it means that any windows that I have open in Chrome, it can be like much more organized. So this is completely free to use. Actually, I don't think I'm in a free trial. I think this is actually a free tool to use. So I definitely like recommend using this. I also think in terms of performance, I actually think it's been an improvement compared to what I usually have of having like all these different windows open at the same time. Um, I'm not sure of the exact technicalities of how Station is running. Um, like for example, if the window is actually like sleeping when it's in the background, I haven't looked into that. But yeah, I think I've seen an improvement in like CPU performance. So I'll have to do some research into how they actually do that. But yeah, so if anyone's interested, this product is called Station. There are a few other like tools out there that are very similar. I guess it just comes down to personal preference. I really like the interface of this particular tool. It has pretty much all of my favorite apps built into it already, and yeah, I definitely recommend checking it out from a productivity standpoint. And just if you like suffer from having like hundreds of different windows open in Chrome, which I definitely do, um, definitely recommend like trying it out. It took me like a day to get used to the like interface of working from the left hand panel, but now I actually moved the dock from my Mac onto the left hand side. And again, that's just another little productivity thing that I found works really well for me. So yeah, the name of this tool is Station. I'll put it down in the description. I definitely recommend taking a look at it. In terms of other tools that I found, this is called MultiLogin. I was actually introduced to this by a client of mine that he uses for managing all of his different LinkedIn accounts. Um, so essentially, this is creating a instance of Google Chrome that is separated from any other instances. Now, you could actually do this yourself. I was speaking to their live support. You could like, I mean, they didn't want to admit this, but you could just have a separate instance of Chrome running locally on your Mac. But the thing that makes this really good is that if you're working with a team, you can share these profiles. Anyone can download a Google Chrome instance that you have. So I'll just give you a quick example. So we can choose operating system. We'll call this YouTube browser. We can run it on Mac. We can run Linux. We can do Android. You can add a proxy to the account. In this example, I won't use a proxy. Like we can choose the geolocation in the browser. It also has WebRTC leak installed automatically. I spoke about this in a previous video of mine. About restricting information being shared from your browser. So from a privacy standpoint, this is really good. And essentially, yeah, you just start the browser. So these are all different browsers that I currently have. They're logged into different LinkedIn accounts that I'm managing for myself for Notifier. I need to add about 40 more profiles because I have 50 different LinkedIn accounts in total. But essentially, we'll go into LinkedIn.com and log in or whatever like you're trying to do. I use this for managing LinkedIn accounts, and we can sign into one of our accounts, and when we close this, it's always going to be logged in. You can share the login details with someone if you're managing with a team, and they'll be able to log into all of the browsers and LinkedIn profiles you've set up. So yeah, this is quite an interesting tool. It's 99 euros per month, and you can have like 100 accounts logged in at any one time. So yeah, if you're doing like social media management for clients, previously I was setting up like VPSs all over the place, and I was getting like a $2,000 per month bill, and this is like a fraction of the cost in comparison. The interface is much easier. You don't have to worry about setting up multiple VPSs, and yeah, really, really good tool, in my opinion. And next up, this is something I found on Product Hunt, which is it's like it's a sort of productivity focused email client. So essentially, rather than always having emails coming in during the day, you go through your emails, and this is what you do. Yeah, you go into Play, and you mark this either as to do, or you can archive it. If it's a waste of time, you can unsubscribe from it from the app, and you would go through all of your emails and filter them into like to do, and then you stop it once you've gone through like that playbook, and you go back to Workspace, and these are all of the emails in my to-do list. So essentially, when you once you've sorted all your emails, then you would just go through and reply to everything that needs responding to. And this is supposedly a much more productive way of working. Rather than always going back to different emails, filtering out stuff, you should sort everything out that you need to actually respond to, and then go through it in sequence. So like you're in the zone to actually respond to emails, and you know everything here needs your attention. Yeah, I also really like the interface of this. It's very minimal. Like for example, you put on focus, it just goes into full screen, and you just write out all your responses to everything, and you get all of your emails done. So I still use Gmail, but I think this is a really interesting tool to explore. It is in beta currently, so you can get a free account there, and it is called Tempo. Again, I'll put a link to this in the description. And this isn't something new I've been working with, but I really like it. If anyone's like technical or a developer and doing like SFTP logins or SSH logins, I think Termius is just a great way to manage this. You set up your hosts, you save all of your hosts. I really like the interface, and you can also just use your local host here rather than using the normal terminal. So yeah, it's a really interesting tool, and you can change the. Apparently that's not working. Yeah, so you can change like the style of everything, change the text, so however you prefer to work. And it just, yeah, it saves all of your profiles, and it allows you to be logged into multiple like SSH things just in these little tabs rather than needing to have loads of different terminal windows open. So yeah, that's another tool that I really recommend checking out. I'll just actually mention this I've just thought of. This is a subscription that I pay for every month. You pay $9 per month, and essentially you get access to all of these tools. So you get email tools, Clean My Mac, Code Runner, which I use quite a lot, torrent downloading tools, Jump Desktop, I used to use quite a lot. MindNode is a mind map app. Pour is for sending API requests. I use both of these a lot. Sidenotes, actually, yeah, I will talk about this. This is another fantastic app that I found recently. Rather than using notes, this is like a sticky side note bar that you can just always have at the side. Again, user interface is very minimal. I really like it. You can have tasks all set up here, and you mark them as done and not done. In my case, none of these are done. I'm very busy and I've got a lot of things to do. But right, like just always having like notes at the side, and it appears on top of whatever you're doing. Really for like my style of working, yeah, this is a really great app. This is included here, and it's a really nice find from recently. So yeah, but I think there's about 40 or 50 different tools that are within your Setapp subscription. So for $9 per month, you get access to like this is an Instagram viewer for your Mac, duplicate finder. There's so many different tools. So yeah, in my opinion, it's really worth checking out. Instant Messenger. This is a similar tool to Station that I showed earlier. I prefer Station, but yeah. Um, I'm just trying to find some other quick tools here. MindNode I mentioned already. Yeah. Anyway, oh yeah, Noisio I really like as well. They play like sounds in the background, which is quite good for productivity. Like you can have birds in the park, you can have like a deep space, you can have a waterfall going. So I'm sure like you've seen similar things on YouTube or use similar apps. But yeah, if you find that's good for productivity, then I think it works really well for me. So yeah, definitely worth checking out Setapp as well. Just for $9 per month, there's plenty of really good tools here. Sorry, I've just thought of another app as well. This is something I just found today. Um, this is an API for converting your website into multiple different languages. So rather than you needing to go through and do it manually, they have a WordPress plugin, they have Shopify plugin that you can integrate via JavaScript, and it automatically converts your website into all of these different languages. And you can do it as creating different subdomains, and it's done from like an SEO standpoint. So not just for user experience, but they've built it so it will create subdomains, and you will actually start appearing on different searches for I don't know how many different languages are here, maybe 60 different languages. So I haven't implemented this yet, but I'm definitely planning to. So yeah, that is all the updates from me today. I'm also always really interested to explore new tools. So if there's anything new that you've been using, feel free to send me a message or like leave a comment below. And yeah, I'm always interested to check out new tools, particularly around productivity, marketing, automation, and yeah, entrepreneurial focused tools for startups. So yeah, please leave them in the comments. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I hope you've found a new interesting tool today.